Hi, I'm Dr. Billy Retzlaff, and this is ABA-ish, a channel that's dedicated to giving real-life supports that are rooted in the science of behavior analysis. This channel gives supports for caregivers, educators, all sorts of individuals who interact with children on a regular basis. Today, my video is going to be a short one that focuses on one element of giving effective directives, which is to make sure that you state your directive in a positive way, or you give a do instruction as opposed to giving a don't instruction. So why is it important that we give our instructions as do instructions instead of don't instructions? Well, one of the main reasons is that this focuses our energy on the positive. If you've watched any of my other videos, you know that this is a really critical factor for supporting positive behavior in kids. We want to focus all of our energy on the positive things they're doing so that they want to do more and more of those things. If we focus our energy on negative or inappropriate behaviors, what's likely to happen is that they spend more of their time doing those behaviors. So by talking about what we want our kids to do when we're giving them instructions, it helps to focus energy on those positives instead of focusing energy on the negative. Another reason that we want to talk about what to do with our kids instead of what not to do is that there are endless options of things that a kid should not do. Right? So if you think about it, if my kid is in a store and they're running, and I'm worried that because they're not walking, they're likely to bump into something and break them. So I could tell them, hey, don't run. They could stop running so they could follow my instruction and start doing cartwheels. Okay, well, cartwheels could also break something, so now I have to say, don't do cartwheels. Then instead of doing the cartwheels or running, they start spinning in circles while they're walking. So instead of focusing on don't instructions, which have endless options of things that kids shouldn't do, we want to focus on telling them what we want them to do. What's the better option? What's the thing we want to be seeing from them? A final reason that we want to focus on what to do is that sometimes kids aren't great listeners. So when we tell them don't do something, they might only hear part of what we say. So if I say don't run, my kid might only hear run. Instead, when I give them a do instruction, it's okay if they only partially process what I say. So if I say something like feet on the floor and all they hear is feet or floor, they might be a little bit confused, but it's not going to get them something negative or inappropriate. So partial processing is okay when we use our do instructions because the behaviors are positive. So if they only pull out tidbits, it might be weird or ineffective, but it's not going to be something that we don't want to see. On the other hand, if I say don't and then some sort of behavior, and then they only hear part of it, then they're just hearing to do the thing I don't want them to do in the first place. So we want to focus on telling our kids what to do as opposed to telling them what not to do because it focuses our energy on the positive, there's not endless options, and it's okay if they only are partially listening. Let's go through some examples of what this would look like. For example, you could tell your kid to walk instead of saying don't run. Instead of telling your kid no jumping on the couch, you might say something like feet on the floor. Instead of telling them to stop chewing on something, you could tell them put it in the garbage. You might say something like high five instead of don't touch. You might ask them shoes on instead of saying stop wasting time, we have to go. For an older kid, you might say something like home by 10 instead of don't stay out too late. Or for any age, we may say kind words instead of we don't talk like that. If you found this video helpful, be sure to like and subscribe for more content. And let me know in the little link if there's a specific question or a topic that you would love to hear a video on. Thanks!